In the last episode of Sister Wives, Kody took time out of his busy moving schedule to throw a dig at his former ex-wives regarding an office. He explained that at the cul-de-sac, Robin gave him an office. And any of the other wives could have given him an office as well. Now, his house sold. This was all happening around the time of the tell-all, and at some point in all that process, they found out about the digs that the wives were making about how he was always hiding out at Robin's house, in her office and hiding his car there and all that. So I think this is a direct response to that. Like him being like, it wasn't that kind of thing. Anybody could have been as generous and wonderful as Robin was, but no one else would. Why would he need 4 offices? Why does he need an office at all? He's told us he doesn't work. He talks about his occasional multiple failed businesses. I don't know if it was 4, but all of his failed businesses, as near as I can guess, his businesses are like one of his buddies like, hey, I have this get rich quick scheme. And he's like, yeah. Then he goes to his office and they just shoot the bull for hours and hours as they build their empire and all that. Like, why would he need an office? And how could she fit an office in? Because she has 5 kids plus their own bedroom would be 6 bedrooms, which is, I believe, as much as they could have. Plus, she had a nanny. So first it was her sister, and then later it was her niece in Vegas specifically. This is different than the Flagstaff nanny. But they lived in house. Now, I think in Janelle's house, she had sort of a bonus room that could be used as a bedroom. But even so, that means some of her kids were doubled up, which I didn't think that she did. But just so that Kody could have an office to pretend. And why would he need 4 offices? We know that Mary would have given him an office. She was in there in her house alone, even with her child's bedroom sort of held for when they came back. She still would have had plenty of space, but Kody didn't want to be there. And why would Christine and Janelle, who have 6 kids and were trying to hold space for them to come back and visit, give him an office if he already had one? And that wasn't even the core problem. The core problem wasn't that he had an office he was in. It was that he was using the office as an excuse just to hide out at Robin's house all day. We know from Christine's book that as soon as she joined the family, he put her kids to bed every night. Couldn't do that for Christine's kids when she was working at night, and Aspen was the oldest at 11 and had to do it herself. He couldn't do that. But as soon as Robin joined, he could. And my guess is what she said was, they need this time. They need this time to get to bond with you as your parent. He also told us that he liked to drive them to school in the morning. It was just his choice. He should be allowed to do what he wants to do. So he was always over there already. And we know as her best customer, there was probably some other stuff going on, which I'm not saying is wrong for a monogamous family at all. But if you sign up for polygamy, you can't be shocked and dismayed when people expect you to act like a polygamist. But it was just funny to me that he got this little dig in about how Robin's so great and their new place is going to have an office and a garage for his projects. They're going to blow through this money so fast because they were relying on Janelle, Christine, and Mary's money. Plus, they were pulling out equity in their home because the value went up so fast. As the value went up, it more than doubled, or just about doubled their original house. They were pulling out equity. So they were like blowing through a lot of money. And unless they change their lifestyle, they're in rough shape.